The same energy should be applied to a woman who says, I don't want either or. It's just like, I don't know, I don't feel like you should. I'm like, I'm gonna tell it's net for writing. Weddings, marriages, children are celebrated more than personal growth. So is God gonna kick me out of the kingdom of heaven because I don't want to get married? Single doesn't mean lonely, much like married doesn't mean secure. Well, let's have a talk about the rate of divorces. Let's have a talk about the rate of people who are emotionally immature to even be in marriages. Oh no, you don't want to talk about that. The pressure to hurry up and find someone is more about appearances than it is about love. People like to look like they're secure. Linda, talking to you, sweetie. People just choose peace over being in a relationship where they have to fight for their lives. Do you hear my chat? What the hell are you talking about? If it's really not helping me in any way, shape, or form, I gotta go. Make me understand. Make it make sense to me as to why. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. It is me, it is I, it is Katleho. Thank you so much for choosing me over and over again. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, I do know that you are seeing something a little bit different. We're not going to talk about that in this video. If you want to see why and how we got about to all of this, then watch the vlog. It'll either be out by now or it's still coming. Thank you so much for choosing me over and over again. We are doing another unpopular opinions video. This one is a little bit on the serious side because it is something that I'm very passionate about talking about, because I get a lot of questions about this. I find myself in a lot of conversations about this with men, with women, more especially men, more especially my father. And thank goodness my father is actually on the pro understanding of this topic. Today we are going to be talking about being single, unmarried, in your 30s, and child-free. What are the unpopular opinions about that? And I'm gonna tell it like it is, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys who do watch this, some of you are younger, and maybe you're at the space where you're thinking, I don't know if I want to get married. You know, the dating pool is a cesspool, you know? It's a mess. People don't want to work on themselves. People don't care about, you know, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I want to have kids, bro. I don't know. Well, I am here. I am here to share the other side of the spectrum, okay? Mothers and wives can have the conversations pertaining to mothers and wives, but there are not nearly as enough conversations about women who are not mothers and women who are not married. And therefore, I'm going to spearhead this conversation. Okay? But I'm also doing it because my birthday is in a little over a month. And I think, you know, it's time. It is time, as Rafiki would say. Let's get into this video. As always, thank you so much for choosing me over and over again. Let us get started. These are the unpopular opinions regarding being unmarried and child-free as a woman in your 30s and above. Let's get into it, okay? We're gonna start with it. It's gonna frustrate some people, and you know what? I don't care. I don't. And you know, this one, it's been very contentious because even after with him that they add, and I disagreed with him in a lot of things, and that is very old school, hey? So I disagreed with him in a lot of things, I agreed with him in a lot of things, and then he was just like, I don't know, I don't feel like you should. I'm like, I'm gonna tell it's net for writing. Not everybody dreams of children and getting married. Not every woman dreams of children and getting married. Let me tell you, it's a preference. It's not a trauma response that we do not want to get married or we do not want to have children. It is a preference. Just because my parents divorced, just because relationships are breaking down left, right, and center like Skittles, just because things are not looking great in the dating pool does not necessarily influence why I choose not to get married or why I choose not to have a child. Will I get married one day? Who the fuck knows? Is it a choice of mine currently right now? Absolutely not. And I think people need to understand, especially women, you need to understand that you can come at me with how marriage is a gift from God and marriage, yes, but also working on myself and choosing not to be married. Why isn't this seen as a gift from God? No, maybe tell me, Busisiwe, because you are very vocal about it. Marriage is a gift from God. It's this. I'm very religious, but you don't hear me saying that, well, let's have a talk about the rate of divorces. Let's have a talk about the rate of people who are emotionally immature to even be in marriages. Oh no, you don't want to talk about that. No, you don't want to talk about that. They're not like us. Okay, cool then. But that's my whole chat, right? I feel like people need to understand that it is a choice. It is a preference. It is not directly correlated to the fact that there is a trauma response. And because of that, it's completely tainted your image of marriage and children. No, it can just be a choice. It can be a choice. I don't care who says what. You can be mad about it. Choosing peace over a partnership is not a flex, or it's not a failure. It's not either or. Okay, some people just choose to have peace rather than being in relationships that are emotionally draining, that are toxic, relationships that do not bring them any form of growth, relationship where there is barely any connection. People just choose peace over being in a relationship where they have to fight for their lives. Do you hear my chat?
Yes.
We don't want to feel like we're fighting for our lives. We don't want to feel like we want it to be comfortable, steady, stable, soft. We want it to feel like it is a connection between two people who both hear each other, who are healthy emotionally, right, mentally, who want to grow together, who want to understand each other and are willing to put in the work to do so. So if that is not going to happen, I refuse to let it compromise my peace. Therefore, I'm going to walk away. It doesn't necessarily mean that just because people are married and whatever, this is the picture perfect frame of security and peacefulness and happy and love and that the relationship is perfect. I got another story coming for you if that's what you think. I'm just saying, Cynthia. I'm just saying. Let me tell you something. You're not selfish for wanting to pour more into yourself than you do wanting to pour into kids or a marriage. You're not selfish for choosing that route. You want to choose to pour into yourself, your health, your growth, your profession, your career. You want to choose to pour into yourself. You want to travel, you want to make money, and you don't want to have, the responsibilities that come with a marital connection or having children to influence that. You don't want it to be the catalyst factor that stops you from achieving all the things that you want to achieve. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I got something new for you today. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong. You should feel no shame for actually saying that, you know what, nada. I want to, before I even settle into something steady or something does, I want to focus on myself. I want to buy a house. I want to do this. I want to travel the world. I want to do this. There are even married couples who actively decide not to have children. That should tell you something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They actually say that, nah, look, we love each other. We could do this, but we ain't trying to have little Mickey and Rory running around in the house. We're not trying to do that. We feel like we're okay. Just two of us, that's it. The same energy should be applied to a woman who says, I don't want either or. I can be in a relationship or I can have little side, not a steady long-term relationship, but I can have a little, a visitor that comes and visits me now and again, but doesn't impact anything that I do. That's okay too. Yeah? Parenthood is not the only purpose of life. It's not. It's not. You can live a purposefully driven life, create a community of love, support, understanding, people who are going to be there with you, even on days where you're going through the absolute most, or you're sick and you need somebody to look after you or to take care of you or anything like that. That doesn't mean you need to get married or to have children to get the best experience of that or to have a purposefully driven life. I have a very purposefully driven life based on what I do. Obvious facts, okay? I help a lot of people. I help myself. Because of the work that I do, there is no way in God grace hell that I wouldn't be working on myself as well and learning things about myself and how I bring myself to relationships, to community, to friendships. I don't know, because like Tate Are, he disagreed with me on this one. He's just like, no, but there's nothing like having children. You're not going to understand. I'm like, Tate Are, I ain't trying to understand that.
And fun. Saz. What's happening?
I ain't trying to understand that there's no feeling like having children. I can't relate to it. And I'm not at that point where I feel like there's something that is a risk that I want to take so I can test out the theory. Please, let me be. It doesn't necessarily make my life or the life of any child-free, 30s plus, unmarried woman less purposeful. It doesn't. And if you're thinking about that right now, I got you. I got you. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't mean that your life is less purposeful. You're welcome. Listen, here's another thing. You seem to think that just because she is single and she's unmarried in her 30s, it definitely means she's picky. It definitely means that she's a needy ass bitch. No. No. It doesn't mean that women who are single and unmarried in their 30s are picky. It just means also that they won't settle for the bare minimum. Maybe think about that. I don't know. Maybe think about that. Maybe they are thinking, I pour too much into myself to be in a relationship where I'm not seen, where I'm not heard, where I'm disrespected, where it doesn't feel secure, where I'm cheated on, where I'm this. I just feel like, nah, bro, that's not the life that I want for myself. And that's potentially what it means. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are too picky, you are too this. No, it also means you know exactly what you want.
Yes, mother. Yes, mother.
And if those things are not being ticked off, you are probably happy doing your own thing by your damn self and not worrying about anybody else. You hear my chats? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Way to rest, before to rest.
Because you can be in your 30s, right, and unmarried and without any children and still live a very good, fulfilled, in all aspects, life. You hear what I'm saying? You hear my chat? You hear my chat? Weddings, marriages, children are celebrated more than personal growth. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. You're celebrating the kids, you're celebrating the wedding, with people that could potentially be emotionally immature, less secure, with people that we don't know. We don't know what happens behind closed doors, my babe. But you don't want to celebrate personal growth where somebody chooses to work on themselves, invest in themselves, invest in their careers, invest in their emotional health and wellness. And I can tell you this is a fact because I work in both these spaces, okay? I work in social media, I get to see it a lot, but I also work in personal growth, development, and mental health. Every single time I post anything with regards to my real talk videos where I'm talking about boundaries, where I'm talking about accountability, where I'm talking about, whatever pertaining to mental health, wellness, and strength, those videos don't do nearly as well as if I'm going to post something about, my wedding and the fact that I'm pregnant now and the fact that this and this is happening and I'm going to document my pregnancy journey. Those videos that I do don't do nearly as well as the ones of weddings and engagement proposals and children and this and this. And I've what? Linda, I have bared the brunt. Mama Tabiso, I have bared the brunt of actually experiencing that and seeing it in real time. It's wild to me that personal growth is not celebrated. Personal growth, if somebody talks about how they went to therapy and they worked through their emotional traumas and this, and now they come to a relationship and they present themselves in relationships differently, where they don't manipulate, where they don't disrespect, where they don't curse, that will never, crickets, that will never be celebrated as much as a wedding will be celebrated, or the birth of a child will be celebrated. Make me understand. Make it make sense to me as to why. Listen to me. You can feel fulfilled in life and in your purpose and also desire companionship. There's nothing wrong with that.
I wish if this can happen each and every after 2 weeks or monthly.
Just because a woman is in her 30s and she's childless, child-free, okay, let's say child-free, all right, and she's not married, does not mean she shouldn't have the desire to want companionship. It doesn't mean that she doesn't want to have the desire of companionship. It's an innate human experience to be in a relationship or to have some sort of companionship. That is facts. I don't care who says what. It's an innate human experience. The two can live together. Prudy, the two can live together. They can coexist. You can want companionship, but also want a purposefully driven life without marriage, children, whatever. And those two can coexist. It doesn't mean just because this person doesn't want to have this, that probably means she doesn't want to have a partner. What are you talking about? I love relationships. I love being in a relationship. I enjoy it. I thrive if it's a good and healthy, stable one. I thrive. And once things start going, that's when I realize that it takes a huge mental toll on me, and then I gotta duck. Then I gotta get out of there. I gotta get out of there. If it's really not helping me in any way, shape, or form, I gotta go. Some people regret having children. They just don't say it out loud.
Right.
I have met women who have told me that they regret having children. They just don't say it out loud. I have friends who have children who have said to me that, you know what, you did best by waiting or choosing not to have children. You did best. You did it for you. I respect it. I see it, girl. Some people regret having children. They just don't say it out loud. The mother to the Menendez brothers, Eric and Lyle Menendez, she actually said it out loud in a therapy session where she said, I regret having you, to her children. You might sit there and think that no, there's no way. Children are blessings from God. Of course, children are blessings. But some parents then take on the job, the responsibility, the blessing that is children, and end up regretting it. Regretting having them. Luna, okay. The pressure to hurry up and find someone is more about appearances than it is about love. Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? What? The pressure to hurry up and find someone is more about appearances than love. People like to look like they're secure. Linda, talking to you, sweetie.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, Dipo, and I get we had this chat. We had this chat. People like to look like they are secure. They love to look secure rather than actually, what the hell? Rather than actually them feeling and being secure in the literal sense. So they hurry up to find someone, to get married, to have children, just net for appearances. Many of you are going to be mad at me for saying this because I've got a lot of church going women here, a lot of wives. I've had a lot of comments in some of my videos where I talk about being child free and all of this. The video that I did, a real talk video where I spoke about being child free and all of this. And I got some really interesting comments from women who thought they knew about me, and they were like, no, you're wrong, you're gonna be blessed, marriage is a blessing from God and this is what you should want. Really? So is God gonna kick me out of the kingdom of heaven because I don't want to get married? Please, man. Listen, being single and being in your 30s doesn't necessarily mean you failed at love. It just means you're very particular about the type of love that you want. And that is okay.
I want to marry.
I gotta see. Just say no. Just say no. No, I gotta see.
You hear my chat? You guys are gonna be mad at me. You're gonna be mad at me. You're going to be mad at me. It just means you haven't found the particular kind of love that you want and you're not forcing it. And you're okay with that. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you failed. So if you are watching this and you are 33 or 35 or maybe even 28, 29, 30 and you're wondering to yourself, I haven't met Spusesu. I haven't met them Zwake of my dreams. I haven't met them that they are of my dreams. Maybe you're thinking all those things. That's fine. That's fine. It doesn't mean that you failed at love. It just means that you haven't forced it. You haven't come across the kind of love that you want. The kind of love that you feel secure enough to take you to that next level. You hear my chats? What the hell are you talking about? What? Making your sister, your 37-year-old sister, just because you're 28, you make your 37-year-old sister feel like, yeah, that's why people don't love you. That's why you're gonna die alone. Oh, shit. Get your priorities and facts in check. Okay? I'm just saying. And don't ever say things like that to your sisters. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Don't ever say things like that to your sisters. Unpopular opinion about being child-free in your 30s and unmarried. You don't have to explain your lifestyle to a damn body. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need to explain nothing you do. You don't need to explain it to your family. You don't need to explain it to your co-workers. You don't need to explain it to your siblings. You don't need to explain it to your partners. You don't have to explain it to anybody. You don't have to explain a damn thing that you do to anybody. When you are single, unmarried, and in your 30s and child-free, you don't have to explain nothing. You can go there and go tanga the piece of meat on the streets. You know, you can hire the services of an escort. You don't have to explain anything to anyone.
Yeah, this is what I want.
You don't have to explain any of the choices that you make. This is the nice thing. Nothing. Nobody is going to come at you and be like, you're drinking too much, you're doing this, you're smoking the hubble bubble, you're a weed smoker, I don't like it, you're doing this, you're changing boyfriends like underwear, I don't like it, I don't know how to explain a damn thing. Keep my turn. I don't have to explain a damn thing to anybody. I don't have to explain my private life to my father. I don't have to explain my private life to my sister. She doesn't need to explain it to me too. She's in her 30s and she's unmarried and she doesn't have kids. The lady doesn't need to explain fuck all to me. I don't care. All I know is that I just want you to be safe and be okay. That's all. That's all. She doesn't need to explain that today Mzwakhe visited and then the next day Sbusiso visited. I don't care. I honestly tell her that all the time. I don't care. As long as you are safe, you are happy, you're healthy, dog, I'm not worried. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice thing. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. Let me tell you, people will envy your freedom, even if they don't express it out loud. They will envy the fact that I can pack up right now and move and go to another country. Nothing holding me back. The choices that I make. I can walk out right now and drive into this house with an SQ8 and nobody gonna tell me nothing. They're not gonna say that, oh, the car is so expensive, and what about the children's school fees, and what about the marriage? What did your husband say? Hey. They envy the freedom that women in these positions have, that are child-free and unmarried. They envy the freedom. They just won't say it out loud. We're not missing out. Women who are child-free and unmarried are not missing out on anything. We're just experiencing a different kind of joy.
Yup.
It's a different kind of joy. I'm not missing out. I don't feel like something is missing when I hear my friends say that they went on holiday with their kids or they celebrated their kid's birthday and this is what they did and this and this. I don't feel like I'm missing out. Or when I see TikToks of families spending time together, you know, married women doing this and that and third and three with their husbands and all of that. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I experience a different kind of joy. It's very different to what they experience. You know what I'm saying? Single doesn't mean lonely. Much like married doesn't mean secure.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Should I say it again? Should I say it again? Okay. Let me say something. Single doesn't mean lonely. Much like married doesn't mean secure. I'll give you a minute. Think about it. You can feel more solid, at peace with yourself in your solitude than many do in their relationships and in their marital connections. I can tell you that for free, dog. And I know you're going to be mad at me for that. Be like that sometimes. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. One more. Being single, unmarried, child-free in your 30s is not a waiting room. It's a whole entire era. You're not waiting on something that's coming. There's no after to the before that is now. You're not waiting on anything. It's a whole entire chapter on its own. It's a whole entire era, of your life on its own. Do you understand? Just because you are single, unmarried, without children, in your 30s, doesn't mean you are waiting for something. It's a whole entire chapter of your life on its own that has its wins, its losses, its pitfalls, its amazing moments. It's a whole era of your life all on its own. We're not waiting for anything, and that is something that needs to be celebrated. Don't think that just because a woman is in her 30s, she's waiting to get hitched. She's waiting to have children. Some are, yeah, but some aren't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Tando? Alrighty. I'm going to wrap this video up here right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this version of Unpopular Opinions. I'm very passionate about this one, and I really wanted to release it before my 38th birthday. Can you guys believe I'm 38? What? Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, thank you for choosing me over and over again. If you think that this video might be helpful to somebody who is in that stage, a woman who is in that stage where she's questioning all of this or blah, 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 please forward it to them. Share the video with them. These are conversations that need to be had. I'm not going to enter conversations with women who are wives and mothers and all of that without I'm neither or, right? And I will listen to their conversations, and I will love listening to their conversations. Sims Wright has a segment on her channel where she talks about being a mother, right? And I watch it. And as much as I may have not birthed children, I've taken care of many children, including my own siblings. So it doesn't make me less than, doesn't make me less of a nurturer. It doesn't make me less of a this. Nah, bro. But conversations like this as well need to be had. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All right, until the next one, I will see you very, very soon. Until then, take care of yourselves. Peace out. Thank you for choosing me every single day. You humble me daily. Thank you so much for choosing me over and over again. Until the next one, I'll tell Ntate Are your thoughts in the comments below. Definitely comment and engage, because Ntate Are is going to want to hear your thoughts on this one. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, mwah, sayonara.